Today we are going to look at managing personal transition. Personal transition. Yeah, personal. Um, so you would have to, it would be good if you can reflect in any type of change which you went through, personally speaking. It can be any type of change in your personal private life, at work, in school, anything, because we would be talking about managing personal transitions or personal changes. uh, I think that it would be good that as we talk about this, you reflect on anything which comes to your mind in terms of your own journey, your own experience. Then I think you would be able to relate more with the topic. And when you are reading, I think it would be helpful at that time also. So please start thinking about any type of changes, transitions you faced personally as we try to speak about this topic. And later on, I think it would be good if some friends can kind of share any type of lessons, any type of good practices, anything which all of us can learn from their experience, that when they were going through any type of personal change, personal transitions, what are some of the things which help them to go through them, how they manage to deal with the challenges. What was it for them? Like some people would say it is prayers, like they would say religion, God, seeking help from your whatever your religion is. Yeah. Some people would say friends. They can confide in friendships, family members, any personalities they admire, they appreciate, coaches. Some people would say reflection, sitting on their own and then thinking, reflecting. And maybe for some people it will be multiple things, not just one. Yeah. So that is what I would want to hear from you, maybe, that when you are going through any type of personal transition, what really helped you? What are some of the things which we should maybe, take care of, or, support systems, those type of things maybe you would want to think about or share with us a little later. Yeah, but let's quickly scan through the chapter. For example, here you would say the nature of personal transition. I would like you to think about this in your own time when you are reading. Then you can maybe reflect on it. Very basic things, nothing big, if you ask me. But again, important to read the chapter, because some things, the way they explain and then they give examples, it gives you a chance to reflect on those things. The personal cost of coping with transition. Yeah, so there will be a change. Transition, you can say change also. Yeah, transition or any other word which you are okay with it. The words, to me personally speaking, they don't really matter. To me, what matters is reflecting on the overall idea, and then but you can see what works for you. So transition or change. So when you would be coping with any type of change, it won't be easy, as we have established already, and you guys have given various examples in the earlier sessions, that it is possible, but it won't be easy. Why it won't be easy? Because you are breaking your habits, you are breaking the norm, you are breaking the status quo, you are trying to find new habits. All of those reasons, yes, we don't have to go through them again. But yes, when you will be using those methodologies or some type of tools, techniques, models which the book has mentioned, you will be able to cope with the change. You will be able to deal with the change, maybe, hopefully. But there will always be some cost. Nothing would come without any type of cost. There will be some type of cost which you would have to bear. You would have to maybe give up some other things. Maybe the cost would be what you preferred, you are not doing the things that way. Your preference, the cost of giving up your preference, for example. Any other cost you can think about. So that is I think, that is something which that is why I was saying that it is good and it is important if you can think about any type of change, personal change which you had to go through, and then you can think that what was the cost you had to give, because for every person it would be different. Two same people going through the same change, same coming from same parents, maybe they are even twins, but they are going to react differently many times to the same circumstances, same environment. Yeah. Um, Same parents, and they have like four children, and not all four are successful. They are giving same type of environment to all four children, more or less things are pretty much, all of them are equally successful. Someone would become a doctor, and another one would become maybe something else, which is not maybe equivalent to a lot of studies. Like one is studious, one is more into sports, one is into more into games. They are given same type of environment, but they are being shaped differently in terms of work or in terms of what they enjoy to do. All those type of things. Someone is trying to say something. I think someone raised their hand. Can come in and join if you want. So you would want to think about that, please. What was the cost for you whenever you were going through any type of change? And it might be very, very small cost, but always you will be able to find some type of cost, some type of thing which you are giving up, and so on. Yes. The book has a very nice table here, the social readjustment rating scale. Yeah, the social readjustment rating scale. You can go through that, but before that, pay attention to this. For example, you might find it interesting to use the social readjustment rating scale to assess the amount of life change that you have experienced in the last 12 months. So they did some survey, and they have the some type of findings in the book. When you will look at table 13.1, you will understand, but still let me take you through a little bit. Like for example, life event. Yeah. So death of spouse. Yeah. So big rate for that, big change for people. Then they are saying maybe divorce. If someone get divorced, they might have a big change in their life, like emotionally speaking. Remember, we are talking about personal change, personal transition. Yeah. Separation. Yeah. Separation. Yeah. What happens there? Jail term, death of a close family member, and so on. Yeah. What type of, like, how much you would have to. So what was the name of the table? The social readjustment rating scale. So how much readjustments you might have to do, socially speaking, when you are going through one of these things. Yeah. Yeah. So various things are here. So maybe what transition you went through, maybe you can find it in this table. Maybe it is there, maybe it is not there, but doesn't matter. It gives you an idea of various readjustments and so on. There is an exercise 13.1. If you have time, you can. Your experience of a transition. Yeah. So if you have time, you can read through this little exercise. Easy to do. It just requires you to reflect a little bit. So maybe you will learn a thing or two about yourself, which is very important, I think, because the personal transition, personal changes you have gone through, no matter how small they are, no matter how small they are, you always learn something from those type of transitions. So if you take a moment to reflect on that what did I learn, what did I do correct, what should I have done differently in hindsight. Because I love this quote. I was listening to some interviews, and the guy said that hindsight is 2020. So they were asking him that, oh, why did you do that at that time? At that time, why did you do that? You should have done like this. At that time, why you did not do it like this? You are smart enough. You should have done this. You should have done then. And then he replied that hindsight is 2020. When you are going through the things, you don't really understand that which action of yours is going to give you the best benefit, best advantage, what is the best thing for you. You don't really know that many times. But once you have gone through something, you have gone through the ups and downs and whatever, and then when you look back at the experience, then you can tell that what is what, how you should have done that. At least maybe that is not correct. Even that, I'm not saying that that would be the correct analysis. It depends on your still it depends on so many things. Your the way you think, your thought processes, how you take failures, so many things are involved. But somehow that line stuck with me, that hindsight is 2020. You do something at that time, you do what you want to do, but you make mistakes. But then once you have done it, if you look back, then you can tell maybe sometimes that, okay, this next time I'm not going to I'm not going to do it like this. Maybe I will do it another way. And then you will do some other way, and then maybe you will fail again. Maybe you will fail again, because maybe that did not work. And that is why they say that experience is important. Because if you think about that, what is experience? Experience is maybe your mistakes. So you make some mistakes in life, and then you learn from that. And I think I lost you for a moment. Yeah, so I was saying that please go through this exercise, and all the exercise, because I never asked you to do exercise with me here. I'm asking you, we just talking about things. And then if you are interested in any chapter, you want to go more in depth, because everyone is different. Someone would be interested in chapter number 5, another person would be more interested in chapter number 10. So you should find the exercises in the book, which at least do a couple of them, just just to reflect, and then see which ones you like, and then try to learn a little bit about yourself. And then they have some boxes here, very nice boxes. You can fill them up and then spend some time. And then if after doing any exercise, if you want to share that with me and talk more, that is perfectly fine. No problem in that. But you would have to take initiative in the sense that you know at least trying to attempt the exercise. Anyways, a model of change as a transition, a model of change. So in this section they are going to talk about a model, but I am sure that you have seen similar type of model before. Anyone can remind us that, if they can remember this model? Anyone remembers this model, or you guys don't know what this is at all? Anyone has a little bit idea what this is talking about? Transition. What would be this? Ending. What is this ending? Anyone can explain what is this ending? What would be this neutral zone? What is this? What is beginning? New start, bridges model, bridge model. Anyone remembers? Yes, Crystal, Kim one? No, Melisha is saying no. All right, all right. So this is transition model. Okay, Tanisha, please go ahead. Yes, Tanisha, very good. Come, Tanisha.
Sir, would the end be, well, I guess would the end be sort of the beginning of the change?
Yes, very good, very good. And then what
And
would be
and
neutral
then
zone,
the
Tanisha?
neutral zone would be the adjustment period,
Very good. And what would be beginning?
and the beginning would be you actually adapting to the change.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much. And good to hear
Sure.
your voice, Tanisha. Very good. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, this is bridge model. Yes. So as Tanisha was explaining us that this is about transition, but according to Bridge, he is dividing transition into different steps, different zones. So as Tanisha was explaining us that this is ending. You are trying to, let's take an example which maybe all of us can. Let's say that you are in a relationship and it's maybe not working. Yeah, maybe it works, but I'm just taking this example just for ease. I can relate with this example, so so that is why I'm taking it. So there is a relationship, it did not really work, so you are saying, all right, let me end it. But this ending should have a little period of time, according to Bridge. Yeah, it should not be very quick, very abrupt, very sudden. It can be. It is not that some people are different. They can end the things very quickly. But generally speaking, it is good that you give it a little bit of time to end the phase. Maybe you have a little bit of a meeting, and maybe you try to talk about things that what was the reason why it did not work, what are the issues, what, like, there is a word, closure, giving closure to something. Maybe you would not talk to the other party, maybe you will just sit down yourself and reflect and try to, why that reflection is important, because you want to learn from your mistakes, what the things which you did in the past in the relationship, then you don't want to repeat them. Have you seen many people who would go in next relationship and next and keep on repeating the same type of mistakes? I have seen many people like that. I'm sure you have seen, or attracting similar type of personalities. Yeah, we have seen that. So why is that? Because the ending is not done properly. There is a method to do the ending. So you take time to end it, and after you end, you don't just quickly start a new. That is maybe not the, some people would do that and it would work for them. I'm not saying that there is no perfect way to do anything. You have to know yourself, your own personality, what works for you. That is why it is important to do these little exercises throughout the book. They are just telling you that, okay, this is where you are. That is why you take like different type of tests, change management test, personality test, just to understand more yourself. Yeah, but according to Bridge, he's saying that after the ending, once the things have ended, you give some neutral zone in which you are not with anyone, you are neutral, you are with yourself, you are trying to look in the back, which is ending, and you are trying to look in the beginning of new things, and you are just reflecting your own time to think about things, how you want to do. You need time. Although you can think that, okay, you go through some experience and you say, oh, I have learned it, but generally speaking, it does not happen like that. uh, Especially if you are looking at the theoretical frameworks, you don't just learn the things just like that. Like we are looking at chapter number 3, personal transition. If you have never thought about these things, just by listening to them today for 1 hour, 2 hours, it is not going to drastically change your life, because you have your own patterns, you have your own way of doing things. Just for Tanisha or me to explain you that this is what the transition model is, you are not going to just implement it in your change processes. You need time to think about it, and over a period of time, you might want to include this type of model in your experiences or the things you go through them. It takes time. That is why they have some time in the ending. That is why they have this column or whatever you want to call it. It is wide. Look at this neutral zone. It is wide. Yeah, there is a clear distinction between ending and new beginning. Yeah, not that if you just end something and start, let's say start a new relationship right away. Not saying that it will not work, not at all. Maybe it will work, but the idea is that why don't we give ourselves a little bit of a neutral time to reflect, think, ponder, know ourselves. Because many times when bad things happen, we give blame to other people, and that is easy, and that helps our ego also. Like, like, in let's say you did not do well in group work. Yeah, let's say your written assignment was not good. So it is very very easy for me to say that, oh, uh, very easy for me to say that, oh, you did not do well, and you did not prepare, and you did not do this and that and whatever. But should I also reflect on myself also, that okay, what are the things which maybe I should have told you, or maybe whatever, how could I have supported you in some way which would help you in doing your written assignment. Maybe did I think that, did, for example, when I reflected, I was thinking that, you know, when I was making the groups, I deliberately tried to put like more people in one group, and I was thinking that if more people are in a group, maybe it will be easier for you to write the report in a better way. But maybe that did not happen. Maybe it happened for different groups. I've given feedback and so on. But I'm trying to say is that, you know, always look within yourself also, instead of just, you know, blaming the other party that um, they did not, these are the mistakes they made. In the neutral zone, you spend time with yourself and see what is the problem with your personality. How did you what are the things you did wrong? And you don't need to tell other people, maybe, unless you need some type of help from from someone, which I don't think most of people can, if they have the reflective personality and they are honest with themselves. I'm sure we know when we make a mistake. I'm sure we know that what is, generally speaking, we know what is right and what is wrong, how we should have dealt with the situation, what are the things we did wrong with the other person. So maybe it will be hard to admit to the other person, but in the neutral zone, what I'm trying to say, that think about those things and then try to work on them before you begin something else. Otherwise, you are going to make the similar type of mistakes. So now I gave you this relationship example, but in any type of change, any type of personal change, you can put this in. Anything bad happens, anything bad happens in your life, um, any grief happens, any you listen that you failed a course, for example. Let's say you hear, may no one hears that they failed the course, but if anyone hears, what happens? You want to do some ending, that okay, this, whatever you want to do in the ending. What would you want to do in the neutral zone if you fail a course? What are the things you would be asking yourself? Yes, you can blame the system and online learning and whatever you want to blame. Yes, and maybe you are right also, but what I'm trying to say is that always try to see what you did wrong also. Generally speaking, what my observation is that generally speaking, we put all the blame in the other parties all the time, because of various reasons. It is hard to admit mistake, very hard. And these are just reminders. I don't say that I'm trying to tell you these things and I don't do these things. I'm not trying to say that. When I'm talking with you, these things are also applicable to me. They are reminders to myself also, that when I am in that situation, I am in the neutral zone, I should also reflect on where did I go wrong. Only then we will be better in the beginning of new things. Otherwise, we will have similar type of problems. Um, so this is what Bridges model is essentially trying to say. But please read the theoretical explanation also. The stages of psychological reaction. Yeah, the stages, different stages. I'm sure you are aware of these stages, because they come in various. You are exposed to them in various courses also. Let me show you the picture and you will remember. That's very strange. They don't have any picture. Okay, no problem. Look at this: awareness and shock. So when you find about something, you get a little bit of shock, like you say, oh, why that happened? Why that happened to me? I was not expecting that. That cannot happen to me. all those type of things you are thinking about in the shock. And then after that you are in maybe denial. You are saying no, 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 that is wrong. Maybe maybe they did not look at my work properly, or maybe they missed this thing, or or um, or I don't accept what you are saying. All those type of things, denial, depending on the example. You can think about that. And then after the denial, after you know that that thing has happened, you might go into depression. You might become sad, angry, frustrated, low mood swings, all of that. Why that happened? You are thinking about that, and then so on. So in this section, you will see these things. So please reflect on these things. Maybe they talk about reflection also, reflection and learning. I should show you that also. Is that- Yes, here, for example, look at this. Internalization, reflection, learning. This is what I was talking about when I was trying to talk about the neutral zone in the bridge model. Yeah, this is very important. Internalization, reflection, and then from that, if you are really thinking about that, then maybe you would learn something from the experience. But if you don't give yourself that opportunity, then maybe you won't learn from that. If you don't critically look at your actions, your behaviors, then how you are going to improve yourself? If you are always thinking about what are the wrong things other parties did with you, then how will you improve yourself? Yeah, maybe we are perfect, and we would like to think that we are perfect. But that can be very problematic in personal, in managing personal transition, personal change, because such person who do not think what they did wrong, or don't reflect on that, at least at the minimum level, then they are always blaming the other parties, and then they will see the repeated failure results again. They will see the failure results again and again repeatedly, until they find other party who is willing to take all the bad things they are saying, who is willing to take their bad side of the personality. And that can happen too. Some people can find those type of relationships also. But otherwise, you want to look in yourself, and then identify what are the things you did wrong. And then maybe and by knowing what you did wrong, that is not going to automatically change you again. You would just know that, okay, these are the things which you did wrong. That is it. Now another new journey is going to start, that you would have to work on those things. You would have to slowly change those habits. And as we have spoken earlier also, and I gave you my example also, that even small habits, it is kind of difficult to change them, unless you are really motivated, unless it is very clear in your head that you have to really do it. The circumstances are very conducive. So many things have to meet. uh, luck factor also, all so many things has to really meet, and then you would maybe learn from your past experience. Otherwise, generally speaking, people don't really learn from the experiences. And it is easy to critique other people. Oh, you made the same mistake last time. You don't learn. That person don't learn from their mistakes. You must have heard this every now and then in the society. People say similar type of things. but you know, they need to reflect that to identify a problem is one thing, and then to change it in yourself, that is totally different ball game. And now you can link it with the other topics which we have been thinking. For example, if it is so difficult to, there are so many variables which you need to cater to in personal transition. Imagine what would be the challenges in transitions of others where you are helping them in the transition. And reflect on these things, please. Okay, let's look at some of the implications, maybe implications for individuals and change managers. What can be some of the implications? For example, Hayes and Hyde, they are giving you some pointers to think about. Like for example, for individuals, let's just look at one quickly. Look at this highlighted section. It takes time for people to make the adjustments required in transition. Yeah. So I think I already spoke about this. Yeah. So you need to think about this. You want other people to change. You don't have time for them to give them to change. It will be tricky. Overnight change is possible, but most of the times it takes time, and it takes a lot of time sometimes. So that is for other people, and same goes for yourself. You need to give yourself a little bit of time. But maybe one trick is that remind yourself again and again. Maybe, as one friend in earlier discussions, I remember in very early discussion, one friend, I don't remember who said it, but one guy from the participant, he said that focus. He said something about focus. So I think that is what we need in personal transition. What you want to change, you have to be really focused on it, thinking about it always, thinking how, yes, I am unable to make this transition in my personality, but always thinking, what can I do? What should I do? Should I seek someone's help, like friends? Should I ask friends how I should do it? Family members? What should I do? That type of thing. You need to you need to reflect. You need to reflect on that, please. It takes time for people to make the adjustment required in transition. For example, this is one point, and rest of them you can go through them. Same for change managers. If you are in the position of the change manager, what are some of the things you should do? This is in the in the in the this is in the um, as in implications. Like if you are individual, you want to think about these pointers. For change managers, you want to think about these pointers. And always try to, when you are working on any type of when you are helping someone in the transition, or maybe helping yourself um, with any type of change transition, you maybe you should make some steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not about how many words you write. I think it is more about steps. Like, okay, when I go through any type of look at your personal transitions in the past, and look at what are the mistakes you made, and look at what are the things you learned. You might be able to, so many things would be coming in your mind, but after that, after the rough draft, maybe take out pointers 1, 2, 3, 4, and say, what are the things which you learn from. Maybe you are someone who get nervous in those type of situation. Maybe you are someone who cannot find the right words, and if you try to speak suddenly, quickly, they are usually the wrong words, and later on you regret them. You regret saying those words. So you have just these 2 points, that okay, all right, next time when I'm in that type of situation, I'm not just going to say whatever comes to my mind. I'm going to process it. I'm going to take a little bit time. I'm going to maybe excuse myself from the situation. If I cannot excuse myself to the situation, I will just listen to the other party. Maybe I will, because my experience is that when I say the things, I say the wrong things and then I regret it, then next time I'm not going to do that. It's just one line. You can write it for yourself. If that is that, like, for everyone it would be different, right? But if you can have that type of pointers for yourself over a period of time in different situations, definitely you are going to improve. Definitely, is no doubt. Is no doubt. But if you have not done that type of activity and not given yourself time to um, practice those type of things, then it will be same thing. Then you will be remain as a person who is just going to say things which they are going to regret later on. Yeah. So it's just a example, or whatever you want to call it. Facilitating progress through a transition. Yeah. Look at this. Some of the interventions that change managers can make to help facilitate the progress of other people through a transition. What are some of those interventions? Yeah, let's look at some of the interventions. Facilitating progress through a transition, or helping people to go through the transition and so on. Like, for example, look at this one. Shock associated with the announcement or discovery of a change. Yeah, shock associated with the announcement or discovery of a change that affects. Yeah. So for example, they are saying you can do this: preparing the ground and creating a climate of receptivity to change. Preparing the ground and creating a climate. Yeah. So that you would have to, it would come from your experience, that what type of climate, what type of environment is conducive to that type of talk. Because climate, many times environment or the surroundings, they do leave impact on different type of conversations. Yeah. um, Simple things like temperature. You are trying to tell someone about transition, or you are trying to give them some shocking news or something like that, and it is very hot outside, and they are coming from outside, and they are already hot, and they are looking for water and those type of things, and maybe they are not very young, and you just want to tell them the bad news, whatever it is, because you are not seeing what the other person is doing or going through, and the person is coming in, and you just tell them the shocking news, and because you did not create a climate, and the person is coming from outside, and it was very hot, and they are old, and maybe they have some heart issue which is not discovered yet, and you just tell them the shocking news just like that, and anything can happen. Many stories like that. Yeah. So because you did not create a climate. Yeah. Or the person just come in with from fighting someone, they are in bad mood already. Yeah, they are in bad mood already, they had a fight outside, or they had a, forget about these big things like fight and this and that. Simple thing like having a rough day at work, rough day at school, so many assignments, you are already, your mind is already not working, and you are saying what is this, and online environment and COVID and this and that, all of that, and you are restrained in home, and maybe not many places you can go, different people have different circumstances, and then in that way, in that environment, when you are already, yourself is already triggered, someone try to tell you that, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, what can happen? It can happen that you will burst out, or if you won't say what would happen to your mental health. These type of things, these are real things. So what I'm trying to say, that create a climate, create an environment of talking, whatever you want to say. For everything, first try to create some type of climate or environment. Yes, always try to do that as much as possible. And then they have other things. You want to read this in detail. For example, who should make the announcement? Who is the right person when it is shock associated with the announcement or discovery of a change? Yeah, so who should make that as announcement? Who is the person? Yeah, timing. What should be the timing? I try to explain you with the example. What should be the timing? Yeah, that's very important to think about the timing. Then what should be the method? How you are going to do it? Like for example, face to face, in writing. Yeah, I think I lost you for a moment. So I was saying timing. What should be the timing? Yeah. What should be the method? How you are going to say the thing? Yeah. Content, the wording, how you going to break the shocking news? Yeah, and so on. Yeah. Dialogue, should questions be encouraged or you are just going to make an announcement and those type of things? Yeah. You think about these things. Yeah. Yeah. When people are in denial, how to deal with those type of situations? If anyone so as we are trying to conclude this chapter, in the early part I was saying that please think about any example which you guys can share in terms of your own personal transition, any type of change which you went through personally, and then maybe tell us that what are some of the best practices you take away from your experience. So all of us can then learn from your experience. You went through whatever you went through, but you must have some things to tell us that okay, if you guys are going through any type of change personally, do these things. They can be simple things. Yeah. So denial, you can think about this. When people are in denial, what to how to look into that. Depression, for example, they are talking about providing support, listening. Many times we depression is now something which is not evident. Anyone can be depressed. It is something that is in their mind, and it is not very some people can read it, yes, that this person looks depressed, but what I'm saying that the mental wounds are not obvious. Physical wounds are very obvious. If we are hurt physically, then people can see then people can see um, then people can see physical any physical physical issue we have, which is visual. But depression and these type of things are not very uh, at least not, they are they are in the mind, they are state of mind. Yeah. So it can be tricky there. Letting go, for example, consolidation. uh, yeah, for example, let's look at letting go, because i I was trying to give you some example, but maybe looking at this is going to closure. I was talking about closure, right? So marking the ending by rituals and ceremony. Leaving parties, when ending, how to like for example, when people retire, it is maybe not the best news for them. Yeah. um, it's maybe not the best news for them when they are retiring. But when they are retiring, um, so how they the work give them a retirement party, some gift, some this and that. And so what is that? Marking the ending by rituals and ceremony, you know that type of thing. It gives you kind of a closure. And the people always, I would say that, be nice to people. Be nice to people. Uh, and again, it is easy to say, but to do in reality, it can be very difficult. But you have a, you like, for example, people who don't get closure, they keep on dwelling on the same thoughts for a long period of time, which is maybe not necessary. If they would have gotten some type of closure that this is what it is, then they can move on easily. Like, some people, for example, try to give relationship. Why some people cannot move on? Why? What is the reason? Many reasons, of course, but one of the reason is that they never got the closure. Their mind is just stuck there. It is not a closed case for them. The other party maybe just stop responding or whatever was there, but did not get closure. So at least, I think in these type of situations, especially now as you understand the dynamics of a change a little better than other people who might not have taken a course like this. So you understand, you appreciate the thing, and so try to give closure, and also try to seek closure also if you are in the uh, if it is possible. Sometimes it is not possible. If it is not possible, it's not possible. But closure is, I think, I gave you example of retirement parties. So you would, if how would someone feel if they retire but they are not, they don't get some type of ceremonies or some type of celebration. Yeah, uh, that is sometimes that and it is there in across cultures. You will see, you need to think about these things yourself. Like, I'm thinking, like, across cultures, what example I can give you. These before getting married, these bachelor parties, what are those? They are giving closure to your single life. That's closure. And what happens in those parties, you know that, right? So that falls under this category. But you need to think about, and now if you are finding difficulty, this is very interesting. If you are finding some difficulty in moving on from any type of personal transition, please reflect that, did you get the closure or not? Maybe you did not. The reason why you are stuck in that transition is maybe you never got the closure, or maybe you are not fully accepting the situation. You are uh, maybe in the denial mode or something like that. Yeah. So if you think about these things, uh, you should be able to, you should be able to think about, you should be able to think about something. Yes. Okay. And then um, consolidation, for example, you can look at reviewing performance and learning. You are doing the review, you are reviewing the situation. Yes. And then you are broadcasting, the success that, everything happened fine and so on. But anyways, is it possible that anyone uh, can share any type of example where they went through some type of transition, and what are the lessons which they can give us, or any other thing which, as I was talking and you are listening, what comes to your mind? Anything which you think we should stress on, anything which is important in terms of personal transition, um, any pointers you would want to add to the to the conversation, please, would be very nice. One pointer I can add as I am reflecting on my own personal transitions is that uh, exercise. Um, it might not sure if you would be able to relate or not, but whenever I was going through any type of personal transition, I have seen that exercise helps in that, because what exercise does is that it regulates the flow of blood. It regulates your mood. There are many things which happens to your body and eventually your mind, how you are when you do exercise. A simple exercise, like I'm not talking about anything in the gym or something. A simple walk or something like that for a longer period of time, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes walk, and just you are thinking, reflecting on it. Automatically things um, that is my experience. Everyone's experience is different, but all of us know that exercise has its benefits. So I have seen that in personal transitions, I have benefited from simple walks. Yeah. uh, okay. uh, that is good.